everybody, and welcome to the special Blade Maiden edition of sports news for the VHL. Today I have with me Keaton Louth, so everybody join me in welcoming Keaton. How are you doing today?
The weather outside is shitty. That's about it.
Well, hopefully we can get over the bad weather and focus in on what has everybody buzzing in the VHL, which is where the heck are you going, Keaton? I think that's on everybody's mind.
How about we'll wait till the end of the interview to release that info. That way, there's a bit of build up.
I guess I could ask you some other questions first. So, I think the main thing on my mind, at least, is I heard there was a little bit of controversy about what happened at the end of the season in the Calgary dressing room. So, could you just maybe expand on that a bit?
Um, the GM came and talked to me at the beginning of the season, not the year, and he asked me if I was willing to re-sign, and then agreed to a sign-in trade. As the year went on, I realized that I've never technically tested free agency, and I didn't want to have to rely on someone else's choice on where I was going to end up. And as everyone knows, that Keaton's goal is to get into the Hall of Fame, and the best way to do that is either win another cup or put up huge numbers. And I don't want to leave that up, or my Hall of Fame chance, up to someone else to decide.
So, I think that most people can, relate with that, especially if you have such high goals, you want a specific outcome, right?
Correct.
So, I guess another question is, do you think there's hard feelings between you and this particular GM over that?
I believe so. He was pretty upset when I let him know that I was not going to re-sign in Calgary, as I wanted to choose my own future. And after that, he put the keys or changed the code on the door to the locker room, and I was never allowed back in. I had to get changed in the hallway.
So you changed in the hallway for the rest of the season. How long was this for?
It was around game 40 when that happened. Game 40 of the season.
That's a long time to be locked out of the locker room, to be quite honest. I mean, that must have been quite the media spectacle. Did anybody ever, catch you changing out there?
They saw the ranks a couple of times, but everyone kept it hush hush.
I mean, I'm surprised that nobody else has ever heard of this. This is actually kind of shocking, right? This is not usually what happens. Usually people keep it more professional and allow their players to get changed in the dressing room.
Well, I talked to my agent whether or not it was a possibility to sit the rest of the season, and we went over and looked at our choices. The option was there to actually sit and leave money on the table, but then as I was one of the leading scorers on Calgary, I didn't want to throw my teammates under the bus for that one selfish decision, so I decided to play out the rest of the season.
And you did mention that your goal is the Hall of Fame. So the best thing for you as a player would have been to keep putting up those goals, keep on putting up those points, and, show your worth for the free agency market as well.
Correct. And that's what I ended up doing in the end.
So do you want to let everybody know who are the main players, like who made the best offers for you, and then what did you end up taking?
So I got offers from pretty much almost every team in the league. New York came and talked to me, and of course they're in the just me. Davos is kind of in the same spot, but they made a harder pitch. And again, I have no interest in going to Davos at this or at this time. Riga made a pitch, but they're in cap troubles, and they'd have to move too many either future stars or current stars to fit me under the cap for one season. And Helsinki, they also offered. They're also on the uptrend, which is pretty interesting, and piqued Keaton's interest. And so Helsinki is one of the teams on the radar. I'd say there's three teams: Riga, Toronto, as they traded for my rights, and that was quite important to me. So Toronto, who's also on the upswing, Helsinki on the upswing, and Riga, but they'd have to make moves.
So, with all that kind of floating around now in our viewers' ears, um, what did you choose to pick and why?
I chose to, or to give a bit of backstory, Toronto and their GM device, he came up and put a pretty good offer on the table. I was really happy that he chose to trade for my rights, and we did have some lengthy discussions on whether or not I wanted to play there. Going into free agency, I was 90% sure that I was going to sign there, but I just wanted to test the offer or the waters and see what other people had to say. But Toronto was not my pick.
Really? Oh my God, I'm so shocked. I was sure that's where this was going.
So there's two more teams. Which one do you want me to, or which one do you think it's going to be?
My money is actually on Helsinki. I think that they really are on the upswing and they're the most likely choice.
Okay, so I'll get rid of Riga first. Riga, they had, as I said earlier, a little bit of cap troubles, and they weren't able to make any decent trades. Keaton would have liked to go there, as you know, they just won the cup and are going to be the defending champions, and they put up huge offensive numbers, arguably close to being as good as Quebec. Little, and yeah, but unfortunately, I can't go to Quebec because of
Also
got
cap
history
issues,
with the
right?
general manager.
You
Yeah,
have a history
also
with
cap
that
issues.
gentleman. You have a history with that general manager as well?
Yeah, he's kind of a dickhead, and he traded Keaton away early on in his career. I was actually drafted by Quebec fourth overall in the I think that was season 58 draft, and they traded up to grab me, but the team stunk for so long. I asked for a trade out of there.
Well, I mean, sometimes it happens that way, right? And right now you're interested in making your career. And I think the point I'm trying to get at is where exactly are you going to be making your career finally?
Keaton Louth will be playing the rest of his career, one season, in and for Helsinki, the Helsinki Titans.
Oh, that's great. That's great that I called that.
Well, you didn't call it. You thought it was Toronto.
Well, I originally thought it was Toronto, but if it wasn't Toronto, I definitely thought Helsinki.
Yeah, so quick, the general manager came up and we had a lengthy discussion, about 2 days of back and forth. And he was willing to put a clause in my contract where I could ask for a trade and he would make an immediate trade as quickly as possible to a better team than Helsinki if they don't do as well next year as they're projected to be.
Oh, that's amazing. That's like a crucial point in your contract.
Correct.
So I guess the what I'd like to end this on is, what are Keaton's thoughts for the upcoming season? And I think that'll bring us to the end here.
Seasons in Calgary with him. Hall of Famer.
I think that that's an amazing way for kind of Helsinki to really make a good run for the cup this year is to have both of you guys on the team. It'll be interesting to watch you guys play, that's for sure.
That's the plan.
So I'm just going to end this here and thank you so much for coming to talk with me today and for giving me this exclusive information. And I wish you the best of luck in the upcoming season.
Yeah, thank you very much. The pen, or I haven't actually signed the contract yet. I wanted to give you guys the exclusive, and as soon as this goes live, I'll be put.
Like I said, good luck in the upcoming season.
Thanks.
All right, bye.